Hello friends, it has been quite some time since I have been on here posting anything, and I was looking back at my channel the other day. It has been about 2 years since I posted any sort of content, and that was not my intention. I had big plans for 2023. I was going to go to Dickens on the Strand in December. I had rented a full Victorian house that I was going to swan around in dozens of fantastic outfits that I had planned. And then in March, I suddenly became very ill. I couldn't keep any food down. I couldn't stand the smell of cooking food. I was throwing up constantly. My stomach hurt all the time. And as you may have guessed, it turned out that I was pregnant. So I spent the better part of the year being completely ill, and the horrific morning sickness turned into things like daily nosebleeds and excessive heartburn. And yes, my baby did have a full head of hair when she was born. So that old wives' tale is true. But because things were so miserable, I didn't sew a stitch from March until about September. At that point, I felt well enough to make a single outfit, which was a 1590s loose kirtle and loose gown because I was 7 months pregnant. I couldn't really fit into anything that I had made before. I didn't have most of my Elizabethan stuff on hand, and the local SCA Barony was hosting their baronial college, which is basically a bunch of classes on things to do in the SCA. So there's things on like how to cook feasts, how to make lace. There were bookbinding classes and classes on swordsmanship, things like that. So I really wanted an outfit to wear for baronial college. So I made this kirtle and loose gown with a couple of accessories, a partlet and a head covering, and that was it for the year, because 2 weeks later I went to my regular doctor's appointment for a checkup, and they admitted me to the hospital with preeclampsia. So I had to give birth at 34 weeks, and since then it's been 24/7 baby time. So 2023 was not very productive sewing wise, but I did create an entire human, so I was kind of productive. So things for 2024. I've been trying to figure out how I can balance working full-time, being a mom, and sewing, and having the channel. And I think the best way to do that is to do one video a month that is my full production, super edited, spiffy looking kind of video. And then at the end of the month, do a sewing vlog that is the accumulation of all of the stuff that I've worked on that month. So this will be things that don't necessarily deserve their own video. Like I'm working on a bunch of petticoats right now, and petticoats are boring. Once you've made one, you've made 1,000. They're very simple, they're not super exciting, and even when they get a little more technical, like corded petticoats, those are super repetitive and tedious to make. They do not make for good video content. They're just super dull. So all of that kind of thing will go into the end of the month video. And then it'll also be a place to kind of give updates on longer term projects, maybe something that has like a lot of embroidery or some very technical stuff that takes a really long time to do. So I'll give little updates on things that are happening so you can see what I'm working on without necessarily having to have all of the footage for an entire video finished yet. So those bigger projects will still get their own videos, but you'll still get glimpses of them in the end of the month vlogs. So, costume plans for 2024. In about 20 days, I have the first event of the year, which is a trip with the DFW Costumers Guild to go see the new art exhibit at the Kimball, and I have an 1890s outfit planned for that. And then in February, there is a Regency Vampire Ball, so I get to go very sparkly and over the top and gothy for that one. I'm very excited. March is going to entirely be dedicated to making the outfit for April, which I'm going with some of the members of the Costumers Guild to go see La Boheme. And so we're doing very fancy evening gowns for that. And then after that, I will be sewing SCA stuff, so I'm doing 1590s, and you're going to see a lot of late period Elizabethan stuff, and you're also of course going to be seeing a lot of 1850 stuff because the trip I was going to take to Dickens last year has now been moved to this year. So yeah, those are the plans, and if that goes well, I might ramp up video production a little bit towards the end of the year when it gets towards spooky season, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now it's the 2 videos a month, the one polished video and the one vlog. So Look for those to come out fairly soon. The 1890s bodice is going to be the first new video, which should come out in a few weeks. And then the trip to the Kimball will have its own video. I hope you all had a wonderful 2023. I really hope that I will see much more of you in 2024. I appreciate everyone that has stuck around in this 2-year absence, and I appreciate all the new people who have subscribed even though there hasn't been new content in 2 years. So thank you all so much, and I look forward to seeing more of you this year. Bye.